All right. Good morning. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming. I hope you're enjoying Dreamforce. I know I do. And I would like to use now the next 20 minutes to talk to you guys about a subject that is dear to my heart, Salesforce IoT, and how you can leverage MuleSoft to make your IoT solutions a reality. My name is Holger. I'm a product manager with the Salesforce IoT product. And my specialty is actually on data ingestion and the whole ecosystem. So to understand how do you actually put Salesforce IoT into the wider IoT solution. Now, before we get started, just legal disclaimer. Please make any of your purchasing decisions based on what's been publicly announced. If I make any forward-looking statements, do not use them to make your purchasing decisions. All right, but before we really dive in, let's open by introducing Salesforce IoT again, in case you have not worked with our IoT offerings. I do like the slide, even so it's showing up in every presentation, but it's a good slide, it's a relevant slide, I think. We are in this industrial revolution, in a fourth industrial revolution, and unlike previous revolutions, this one is powered by data. Yeah, it's not powered by energy. Data is the new oil, you've heard that. And what's actually revolutionary is what we can do with that data now. The tools and methods that we have available to actually gain knowledge from the massive volume of data, they have evolved so much that they do actually change the way we live. Yeah, we see this in a lot of everyday situations, and that is what I believe is the revolutionary aspect of it. It's machine learning, but it's also the interaction that businesses have with their consumers. And one prominent source of data, of course, is machine-generated data coming off devices. But if you think of industrial equipment, having connected equipment is not actually that new. Yeah, having massive amounts of machine-generated data coming at you is not really a new concept, but what has evolved over the last few years are, again, the big data technologies available to us to process and handle that data. And so what we're seeing nowadays is that not only the industry and the commercial space is connecting devices, but the consumer space. Yeah, and if you think of the connected consumer, you all have smartphones that deliver event streams. We have connected wearables. At the house, we have connected home appliances. And even the car is connected. If it's not yet, it soon will be for everybody. And so with all that data, business models change. And the way businesses interact with their consumers through the data is fundamentally changing the way we expect the business to interact with us. There is entirely new business springing up just because of connected devices. If you think, for example, of the Uber business model, right? Uber does not own a fleet of cars, except for Uber's developing self-driving cars. But in essence, Uber only owns data that they're getting off the smartphones for their drivers and off the smartphones for their passengers. And their entire business model is based on processing that data, matching it up, and building out services and experiences for both drivers and passengers. Now, that is a billion-dollar business, but it also fundamentally changes what the consumer expects of a business like Uber. If you're standing out there middle of the night and you're calling a driver and the app is telling you that driver is nearby, you expect that driver to show up, or else that whole business model is broken. Yeah? So there's a level of expectation that is evolving based on these data streams and the reliability of the processing of these data streams. Now with Salesforce IoT, we want to give you the means of developing these new business models and exploring for yourself, for your own business, for your own vertical, what is the art of the possible with connected device data and event streams. But to get there, we have to look at this picture and the reality of the landscape. if you're in the business of producing connected things, you pretty much invest in, the physical devices, and then you're probably also investing in connectivity of these devices. Yeah, you're building out cellular networks or LAN networks to have these devices talk to each other, and then essentially talk to cloud services where those device data streams are now being persisted, sometimes in data lakes. And there's a vast number of platforms out there facilitating the first cloud level interaction with your connected devices. Now, we typically categorize these platforms into the general purpose platforms that vendors like Google or Amazon or Microsoft make available with Azure and AWS and the Google Cloud Platform. But then there are also industry platforms developed by the likes of Bosch or Siemens, Honeywell. And then there's also purpose-specific platforms from, Cisco, for example, develops a platform for smart cities. But investing on that left-hand side is relevant, it's important, but it does not yet evolve, or it doesn't give you yet the means of building up new business models. With CRM, however, on the right-hand side, with Salesforce, you're probably already doing a lot of smart things. You're doing smart things in marketing, or in sales, or in service, or in community. But what you may not be leveraging yet is the data that's available on all these IoT platforms in order to expand on your intelligent CRM solutions. And that's exactly where Salesforce IoT is coming in. So Salesforce IoT bridges that gap between the device-centric view of an IoT platform and the customer-centric view of a CRM platform. And so a year ago, we've made a product available called IoT Explorer, where we have given customers an on-platform product and the promise that it is easy for them to explore new business opportunities, new models, using the data from their connected devices. But working with a number of customers now over the course of a year, we do understand that it's actually not that easy to get your device data from your IoT platform into your Salesforce platform. And that's exactly, and unfortunately, when we did acquire MuleSoft, and MuleSoft now provides us a perfect platform, an integration platform that we can leverage to bridge, again, to help bridge that gap between the IoT platform, where we have very device-centric data streams, and the CRM platform, where our focus is on business. So with MuleSoft, you have an abstraction layer where you can facilitate that mapping between what looks like device data and what is needed in the context of your business. And then, of course, your left-hand side of the picture is always more concerned with data production. On the right-hand side, you're concerned with data consumption. So decoupling the two is something that you can do very easily with MuleSoft. And in order to stay innovative, you want to be building not coded integrations. You don't want to be building once and using once. You want to be investing in reusable assets, in things that you can continuously evolve, and evolve without having to invest IT resources. So be able to do this in a very declarative fashion, and be able to do this UI-driven and point-and-click driven. And that's exactly what MuleSoft offers us. That's actually the perfect platform you can have to abstract away and hide away the complexity of the physical layer and focus on the logic in the business layer, and even enable your business users to do that themselves in a self-service fashion. Now, let me speak real quick to one question that comes up fairly frequently. Is MuleSoft, it's a very sizable offering. It's a somewhat big platform. When do you actually need to invest in such a big platform? When is it not enough to just build the point-to-point integration and do the one-off integrations. Now, I come up here with 4 answers to this question, but this is by no means a complete list of arguments. This is just something to get us all thinking about the problem. So the first one I came up with is, if supposedly think about your connected devices and your device networks, but you don't actually have invested in an IoT platform yet. You could theoretically use MuleSoft to be that, small-scale IoT platform. And I'm saying small-scale not because of volume, but because of functionality. And a real good IoT platform offers things like digital twin, machine learning, asset management, and those are all things that MuleSoft won't really do for you. But what MuleSoft can do for you is map the low-level machine protocols, including MQTT and others, proprietary protocols, into the higher-level application-level protocols that you need to facilitate your cloud-to-cloud communication with REST over HTTP or SOAP over HTTP. So MuleSoft could, in fact, be your entry-level IoT platform, if you will. Now, another argument is, if you do have an IoT platform, but because of your business, your platform is on-premise, and you need to connect up to the cloud for Salesforce, MuleSoft can facilitate that on-premise to cloud integration. A third one is, well, as soon as you have multiple sources, multiple, say, IoT platforms or multiple streams on the left-hand side, maybe you have one platform that delivers your device stream and another service that you use for asset management, you need to merge that data, and then maybe you need to fan it out on the right-hand side again to multiple targets, maybe multiple Salesforce organizations or other services out there other than Salesforce. That's when you want to invest in an integration solution into an integration cloud like MuleSoft. Because building this point-to-point, of course, would result in an n-square problem, and you can easily see the complexity of that. And then last not least, if, as I said, you want to remain flexible. You want to build something that is declarative and that can easily evolve with the needs of your business. Use something like MuleSoft and don't invest in just coding solutions, because once you've put them in code, they are hard and fairly inflexible, and you don't want to be doing that. Okay, so let's look at this in a bit more detail, and then I'll finish it off with a little demo to show you what that should be like in reality. So what MuleSoft brought into the portfolio is primarily for IoT two things. One, it's the Anypoint platform, and the Anypoint platform is a great set of design tools. It's a runtime that can either be fully managed for you on Cloudhub, and it's monitoring infrastructure. It's a catalog. They call this MuleSoft Exchange. Think of this as like App Exchange, where you can develop and deploy connectors, templates, examples, and literally have these reusable assets in a place accessible to your business. And the other thing that MuleSoft gave us is a best practice, a sort of blueprint or reference architecture, if you will, based on experience that they have with over 1,000 customers that they're supporting today in the space of IoT. And that solution architecture looks like this. They understand that API-led connectivity really has to be layered in order for it to be flexible and reusable. At the lowest layer, we're talking about something called system APIs. Here, you're just building the hard connectors to your endpoints. Doing this provides you loose coupling between your integration platform and your physical platform. Then they put something called a process layer on top of it. That's where the different device streams or the different data streams can come together, and they define entities that are relevant for the business and encapsulate the value of all these different device streams. And then at the top, they provide something called an experience layer, and that's where your microservices architecture comes in. Having these individual experience APIs available allows you for real, plug-and-play integration. And from the top to the bottom, you can see how different people are going to be invested in the platform. The system APIs will be built by your IT department. Then the process APIs will be owned by your lines of business, and the experience APIs will be for your applications and solutions that you're putting out to your customers. All right, now let's actually see this in a little example. So what I'm going to show you now is a solution where I'm using just a couple of connected devices. In this case, these are Echo buttons provided by Amazon, not industrial equipment, of course, here on stage. And then I'm building what MuleSoft calls a flow definition in the design environment, in Design Studio, deploying this onto their Cloudhub as runtime, and show you also how now the data actually lands in Salesforce IoT, and give you a real quick glimpse into the Salesforce IoT UIs. So first off, I mentioned this is reusable. So here's the catalog that MuleSoft makes available for assets and connectors. And of course, Salesforce is a very prominent set of connectors. Here's the Mule4 connector for Amazon. And if I log in again, then I hopefully get the one for Salesforce. The next view is how I've designed this data flow using Design Center in this case, but you also have Anypoint Studio as a development IDE. So on the left-hand side, I have a simple connector to Amazon's SQS service. That's the one that owns these events. Then I put a transformer here at work, and the transformer is very simple. In my case, just doing a one-to-one transformation between the event payload that I have of my devices and the event payload that I'm expecting to load into Salesforce IoT. Here on the right-hand side, you can see an event schema, a sample schema. And then I can also monitor over time how the production of these events work. And these are guaranteed deliveries. So MuleSoft has the at least or at most once delivery guarantees that you have with any streaming protocol also available. So let's activate my Alexa here and do this live. Alexa, start color coder.
I don't know that.
Alexa, start color changer.
Hello all. Welcome to Dreamforce. We are going to have some fun with IoT-enabled buttons. Holger, please go ahead and activate both buttons now. I registered button 1. I registered button 2. Awesome. I've registered 2 buttons. Now let's trigger some button events. Please select one of the following colors: red, blue, or green.
Blue.
Okay, blue it is. When you press a button, it will now turn blue. Go ahead and try it. Button 2.
So we don't expect this integration to be real time. There is a lag, and that's fine because we're guaranteeing lossless event transmission, but not necessarily real time. Yeah, so that's fine.
The event has been forwarded to Salesforce IoT. Would you like to quit now?
No.
Say yes to exit.
No.
Okay, let's keep going. Pick a different color: red, blue, or green.
Red.
Okay, red it is. When you press a button, it will now turn red. Go ahead and try it. Button 1.
Okay, so you've already seen on the screen behind me that these, these events that are triggered are going to be forwarded to the platform with this simple job that I've shown you. This is literally the job that is at play here. There's no video or anything in the background. So what I want to leave you with is just a couple of resources you may want to check out if you want to understand Salesforce IoT and also MuleSoft. So with MuleSoft, you get on the Cloudhub, or on the MuleSoft.com website, you get trial options where you can sign up for 30-day trials and build simple solutions yourself. You can, of course, work through a vast, vast catalog of examples that MuleSoft has made available using the MuleSoft Exchange. If you're not yet familiar with Salesforce IoT, I'd encourage you to actually check out our IoT village, which is right here in the middle of the expo hall. We do have trails, of course, for Salesforce IoT. There's one where they feature a similar device like this. It's called an electric imp, and it has sensors and temperature readers. And then, our keynote for IoT has already happened yesterday, but go check out the recordings if you want to get an overall product overview. And I guess there's a lot of resources available to you here on the expo floor for both MuleSoft and IoT. So go check those out. And with that, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.